Well, time flies, and I've already owned my 2022 Toyota Tundra for 6 months, and I've put 5,000 miles on it. And I figured that with that, it was time for a 5,000 mile update. I'm gonna cover real quickly reliability, 5,000 mile service, fuel efficiency, and just kind of a overall picture of the all-new Tundra. So starting off with reliability, my truck almost made it the first 5,000 miles without a single issue at all. And then 2 weeks ago, I was driving it, came up to a stop sign, stopped, waited for a car to go by, proceeded to accelerate, and the truck basically went into a limp mode, lost pretty much all power of the steering and accelerator. And so I pulled it over to the side of the street, pushed the power button to turn it off, and that actually turned it back on. And then there were no check engine lights, no warnings. The truck's driven fine in the last 2 weeks since that, and I have no idea what happened. Took it in for the 5,000 mile service. They didn't see any record of anything occurring. And so right now it's just a big question mark. Again, the truck has been completely reliable other than that. I'm not sure if that was a fluke or if we'll see more on that in the future, but I'll be sure to let you guys know if I do have future issues with the truck. So in summary, it's pretty much been trouble-free, but I am a little bit concerned about that one incident. 5,000 mile service. They basically did routine check on things, not much to that service. The one thing that was a little bit disappointing though is that all new Toyotas come with Toyota's Toyota Care. It's a cost-free maintenance plan for 2 years or 24,000 miles, meaning that they take care of oil changes, air filters, anything else that's wrong with the truck from a maintenance standpoint. And unfortunately, Toyota recommends oil change every 10,000 miles unless you drive it under extreme conditions. Well, the extreme conditions list is kind of funny because I don't know who wouldn't drive under extreme conditions, especially with a truck. So let me pull that up here real quick. Should have had this ready to go already. So these are the things that qualify as extreme operating conditions: stop and go traffic, extensive idling, multiple short trips of 5 to 10 miles in length, extreme hot and cold temperatures, but then we've also got driving at prolonged higher engine speeds. So whether you're doing a lot of frequent stops or prolonged higher engine speeds, that qualifies. I think that's a little odd. Frequent cold startups and shutdowns, driving in dusty or muddy conditions, towing or hauling heavy loads, or driving in mountainous terrain. So if you do any of those things, you should change your oil every 5,000 miles. Well, I don't know who doesn't do those things. And so they said they will cover the labor, but I've got to pay for the material. So they charged me $65 for the oil change on the truck, even though I've got a 2-year maintenance-free maintenance plan or cost-free maintenance plan. So I thought that was a little bit odd. Kind of disappointed with that, especially because it took them an entire day with the truck. I would have gladly just changed the oil myself if I knew that Toyota Care wasn't going to cover that. So they will cover it at 10,000 miles and 20,000 miles, but those 5,000 mile increments, you are on the hook for the at least the material, or you can take it on yourself. So at 15,000 miles, I'll probably do the oil change myself and give you guys a nice little tutorial video. They also did 2 recalls while I had it in at the dealership. There was one issue with the camera system where they just basically did a software update, and there was something to do with like the rear axle falling off the back of the truck, something like that. So that's taken care of. You don't have to worry about that anymore. So that's the 5,000 mile service. Beyond that, you know, no red flags of any sort. Not that you'd expect to see anything on a truck that's this new. But that's 5,000 mile service. Fuel efficiency, that has been the real issue with this truck since I bought it. I was really excited when they came out with this new 6-cylinder, rated at 17 in the city, 22 in the highway. I thought, okay, I can live with those kinds of fuel economy numbers as opposed to what we saw in the 2nd generation model. Of course, I put the 35-inch tires on there, so I'm not entirely concerned about fuel efficiency, but I did want to see at least somewhat decent numbers. So prior to putting these tires on, the fuel economy was far below EPA numbers. This has further exacerbated things. Basically, I'm getting about 15 miles per gallon with these tires, and then prior to these tires, I got about 16 miles per gallon. So That's combined driving, far below the EPA numbers, and disappointing when gas costs like $6 a gallon. It pretty much costs me about $150 every time I fill it up, so that's no fun. But those things aside, so we had reliability, the one issue there, 5,000 mile service, not crazy about the fact that I had to pay for that, and then fuel economy is pretty bad. Those things aside, this truck is awesome. 5,000 miles of ownership, and I'm still excited every time that I drive it. It is a wonderful truck to drive, even with this base powertrain. I don't have the hybrid powertrain. It has a ton of power. I never feel like there's any lack of power. It's incredibly smooth. It's fun to drive. It's got a great interior that is comfortable, loads of options and features. It's one of those vehicles that you just get excited every time that you drive it. I enjoy being inside this truck. I wish that it didn't cost so much from that fuel economy standpoint, but beyond that, I don't have enough good things to say about the Tundra. It is a great truck all around. If they can just address that fuel efficiency, that would be great. So that is a look at the 5,000 mile update on my 2022 Toyota Tundra. If you guys have any comments or questions, let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And for more videos of the all-new Tundra, be sure to subscribe. In the meantime, thanks for watching.